But how in the world are you going to finalize this roster?
Yes, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult, and we talked about that tonight a little bit. Just that we all have to be thankful and grateful for the opportunity we have to be here, and we can't be wasteful at any minute that we're on the court, because there's somebody in this locker room that is not going to have the chance to continue on. We're disrespecting their dream and the life that they want to live and create for themselves if we play one possession without purpose and without intention. So, when you talk about trying to get down to, 12, maybe 11, depending on, with our guaranteed contracts, we might have to get down to 11. And it won't be easy, but it comes with the job, unfortunately. And we'll figure it out. But we're very proud of every single young lady on our team. And whoever doesn't get to continue moving forward past May 23rd, there's no question that they can play in the WNBA. It's just a matter of time.
This is the first game on the team. Can you just talk about her performance? And is there a specific reason why it took so long to bring her back? Was she always part of the plan to have her on the roster?
Well, over the course of the offseason, we always were hopeful that we could still resign her. And timing, getting other contracts done. As everybody knows, there were conversations continually going on in terms of trade possibilities, draft trade possibilities, etc. So Raquana wanted to be here, and I think we were very fortunate that she was willing to be patient and give us a chance to re-sign her. And we're glad to have her back. Her competitive spirit tonight really changed the momentum of this game. She can score. She scored 50, I think, before. So that's not something that we'll always need. We scored 92 points with her scoring 6 points. But the way she competed on defense, even though she picked up a couple fouls, like that toughness, picking up the ball full court, making it hard for teams to run their offense, like that's a value that she can bring to us beyond her scoring.
Who stood out to you today?
Say it again?
Who stood out to you today? Obviously not, but like beyond that.
I think just overall, I think our group is continuing to grow. I'm impressed with all of them, honestly, because we're not giving them a lot to work with.
What do you mean?
Very vanilla and simple. We're doing a couple things offensively and a couple things defensively. And the idea is that you can't try to have 10 things on the menu if you don't know how to prepare 2. Right? And so we're not going to be overly concerned about trying to have 45 different plays for 45 different situations. If you execute properly, if you set screens at the right angle, if you make good passes the right way, if you're strong with the basketball, you can figure a lot of things out offensively and make open shots, which, we're shooting a good percentage so far. And then defensively, the same thing. A lot of problems are not because the coverage wasn't corrected. You didn't execute the coverage correctly. You didn't communicate the right way. The weak side wasn't in all the way the way they need to. So until we become great at those things, then we don't need 12 different options. We need to be great at 1 or 2, and then we'll build from there.
Can you all talk about that third quarter that you guys had defensively?
Yeah, it was impressive. We spend most of our time talking about defense on a daily basis. Practices are mostly defensive oriented. When we came in at halftime, it was all about what we need to do defensively. We have the type of basketball team that can score points. So that I don't think that'll ever be an issue for us if we're playing the right way offensively. Defensively, that's a commitment that you have to decide you want to make every night. And I think we took fewer possessions off in the third quarter, and that's really where we got separation in the game. And you could tell they were tied together, and it was fun to watch. And that's something we got to try to figure out how to do for 2, 3, 4 quarters in the game.
What stat is indicative of a Derek Fisher coach team?
Say the first part again.
What stat would be indicative of a Derek Fisher coach team?
Hopefully, 15 total turnovers isn't a terrible number, but 22 points off of those turnovers is something we have to get lowered. Attention to detail, being able to really execute the things that you've been given. If we're supposed to be executing certain things offensively and defensively, being able to do that and retain that information at a high level. And then lastly, what we talked about tonight was we have to compete really, really hard. Like really compete. And those are things to me that are non-negotiable because regardless of the name on the back of your jersey, every night when you show up, you should be competing like it means something to you. And if you see that from us a lot of nights throughout the year, then I am doing my job.
So you mentioned defense at halftime. You guys spoke about it. Is that going to be the identity of your team, defensive team here with the Sparks?
Hopefully so. I think with the versatility and size we have to be able to defend. We weren't as good rebounding tonight. We gave up several offensive rebounds. That's an area that we'll clean up for sure. But defense for sure will be one of the first things on our mind. I think offensively for us, anytime we're concerned about our offense, is if we're not sharing the ball, right? Not necessarily we need to do something different. If we're not performing well offensively, we're not sharing the basketball. We have too many really good players to not run good offense. But if you're going to be selfish and try to do it yourself, that's what's going to get us in trouble.
Is Elena dealing with anything physically, or have you just been keeping her on the bench because the bubble players are all guards and wings?
So it's a combination. She had a little bit of a quad thing early, and Elena Beard is one of the easiest questions to answer. So at this point in her career, there's just no need, similar to Super from Seattle or just other veterans, there's no need taking the risk because they're too important to what you do long term. But she's been practicing the last couple of days and working her way back in, and we expect to have her Sunday.
And how difficult is it to kind of implement some of your schemes when you have a larger lineup, but a lot of those players aren't able to play tonight?
Yeah.
How much does that kind of set you guys back a little bit to have to go with maybe different roster sizes?
Yeah, I don't think it sets us back, but it is a challenge that the WNBA has faced for a long time. It's one we have to correct. It's just how can we be serious about making this the greatest women's basketball league in the world if when you start training camp every year, 60% of the roster is not there? That doesn't make a lot of sense. However, that's the way it is now. And yes, you're correct. That's why we kept the menu very simple. We don't want Chelsea and Jonte Lavender and other players to be behind when they show up. We want to have some basic things that we do. And as we plug people back in, we want to be really good at those things. And then the more time we spend together as everybody comes back, then we'll start to add and level up. But if we're good defensively, we're playing hard, we're communicating, we're flying all over the place, getting rebounds, we don't need 12 coverages. If offensively we move the basketball, when you drive, if two people come, pass it to somebody else, shooting when you're open, play together, we don't need 12 plays. And that's the team we're gonna try to be.
How are you feeling going into the regular season? You have two specific games down here. It's just that you learn from your new experience. Is allowing yourself to make mistakes and just trusting yourself more. Do you feel that you're doing that and you've done that so far here in LA?
I hope so. Man, the players could probably answer better in terms of what they feel that I'm bringing to the table. But I definitely learned a lot, and I've talked to them a lot about mistakes and failures and things that happen in life you don't plan for. But how much you learn from it, how much you grow from it, how much you improve by experiencing those things. The first half tonight, we learned from. And we come out in the third quarter and we were better. And that's what adversity should do, right? So I hope that I'm doing some things better. I tell them every day, I'm not perfect, I won't be perfect. There isn't anything that's gonna be perfect on this board. There's not a perfect defensive coverage for every offensive situation. It's your job to figure out how you wanna be as a team. You wanna communicate and trust each other and figure it out together, as opposed to expecting the coach to give you a magic solution to something that you're capable of handling yourself. So I'm going to be, holding myself as accountable as anybody here, and there'll be nights where I'm not as good as I need to be, and I'll be able to tell them that I could have been better. I can't ask them to be better if I'm not asking that of myself.
Can you emphasize on your coaching staff and the rest of everyone how they need to help you and for you?
Yeah, no, what we're trying to do is build an organizational culture that that becomes the standard of how we do things. Every person that works here, there's a certain way we operate on a daily basis. There's a positivity to what we do, an enthusiasm, a love, and a connection, and that's who we want to be. And those are the people that I specifically wanted to hire on our coaching staff. Great people, but also people that can help our players get better. That's another thing that I think these players have been robbed of. They haven't been given the resources to get better as players. They come back from overseas, we just throw them out on the court, and they never have time to work on becoming better individually. So committing to player development and putting time in to making sure that players can improve, and we're not just throwing them out there to play games, that's something that we're really trying to implement on a daily basis.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Derek.
Appreciate it.